Hey, all viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist, and welcome back to So You're Being Hunted. This is episode 437. Now, as promised at the end of the last episode, we are moving on to a challenge at last after several podcast-style episodes. So, the challenge I've decided to go with is loosely based on a suggestion that I was given quite a long time ago. I forget who it was who actually left this suggestion, so if you're watching this, credit to you, whoever you are. This, as you'll see from the video title, is the Tourist Trap Challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we've all probably had times in our lives when we've gone, on holiday to various places or visited various sites of historical and or other significance before, museums, art galleries, whatever else it may be, historical buildings, etc, etc. And, we've probably all had our fair share of ones that we've been to, which, let's be honest, have probably been, how shall we say, tourist traps, i.e. you go there, you get charged huge amounts of money, and you look at it and you think, have I really got value for money out of this? Do I really feel like the cost of this is actually justified? I'm sure many people, like I say, have had those kind of experiences, and so we're doing a challenge based loosely on those kind of experiences, like I say. So, yeah, this is not a time challenge, ladies and gentlemen. This is just me setting myself a little experiment to do. So as you can see, I've got a custom biome here. I've set the infrastructure to be castle, so, well, basically for all the islands, I've set the infrastructure to be castles. So the challenge is as follows. I'm going to select maybe a site of historical significance somewhere, so probably a castle or maybe a church, something like that. And then I'm going to basically lay down as many traps as I can get my hands on around said building. Then I'm going to lure as many hunters as I can all at once into those traps. And so whilst they're all trapped, I then got to give the spiel on the history of the building in question. And then once they're freed, as an optional objective, I got to set a load of traps around a gift shop. Like there's one over there, for example, and then try and lure them in to the gift shop so they have to buy souvenirs, and then see, if I can keep them all there. So, yeah, like I say, it's not. I originally toyed with this being a time challenge, but I don't think I will make it timed. So I'm starting out as the aristocrat class, as you can see. We'll see how this goes, folks. I have no idea. Either this could be fantastic, or it could more likely end up being way more friggin', I don't know, low-key and just low-key disappointing and underwhelming than I anticipate. I will take a trombone, though, because we can use that to lure robots in, or at least lead them on a bit of a merry-go-round round the island. The Pied Piper of Surrey being hunted and all that, except in this case I've got a trombone instead of a pipe. Right, so what we want to be looking for, we probably do want a gun, just by way of a weapon. So we've got that. I'll take a couple of stealth extraction equipment pieces, and obviously we've got our trombone. So if we can pick up, random bits and bobs in terms of, well, things like ammo, stuff like that, that would be good, because I haven't fiddled with the robot spawn rates. So we will get other types of robot later on, depending on how long this takes us. Which shouldn't be too much of an issue, but that's the thing, I've never really experimented. As far as I'm aware, I think it's only the hunters that can get caught in the traps. I don't think the squires can they? At least not as far as I'm aware. And I don't really know about the poachers, because the poachers obviously lay traps, but they don't actually wander into them, I don't think. And of course the riders won't trigger them at all. And as for scarecrows, I feel like it's not really going to affect them, because they can just teleport around. So hunters, namely, are what we're trying to lure in, but we will need, like I say, a revolver just on standby in case we need to, kill off any troublesome individuals who are trying to disturb our grand tour. Right, so if I had a map of the islands, I could probably mark out this gift shop here and make this the final location. Now, obviously I'm going to have to find traps. That's the only thing. I'm going to have to find quite a few of them. So probably what I'm going to be doing is exploring all the islands first, accumulating as many traps as I can, finding a building where I can stow them all, and then, when it's time to begin the tour, laying out all the traps, as you'd expect, before beginning the tour itself, or at least attracting the robots' attention so that they're drawn in. At least that is the plan. Now we do have this big castle over here, which could be a good location to use as our site of historical interest. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, if we could find a map of the islands as well, I'd just be able to mark out some, you know, some points of some waypoints on the map. Yes, this probably would work, wouldn't it? Come to think of it, let's switch that on. Yeah, we've got the statue of James H. Paul, the cat lover, the brother, the metal fan, 1986 to 2012. Okay, right, so since that's there, that's good. Yeah, this would probably make for a good one. I'm sure we could make up a silly little story for this castle. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so we'll tentatively, for the time being, make this our historical site that we're going to lure all the robots to in order to try and give them a guided tour. Because then the gift shop's just up the road, so we can lead them on a merry dance, and that should work fine. At least that's the plan. So now it's just a matter of getting everything I need. Oh, there's a tower there. We could climb up if we wanted to. Alright, another gift shop over here. We're not going to be bothered about that. Now, I'm just hoping that, of course, we're going to get traps, because I have maxed out building spawn rates in the terrain generation settings. There's our first trap. That's fantastic. Right, we got that. I will need to designate a building to act as our storage in the meantime. I'll take matchbooks, because they're good for lighting fires and drawing robots' attention and all that. Haggis, we will take that for the time being as well. Let me check the back doors on this side. Or the back door, I should say. Oh, wait a minute. Another trap in there before I miss that somehow. Right. So ideally what we want to find is not that. I don't want my trombone. What am I doing? God, look at how many fucking matchbooks there are. It's fantastic. And I'll eat that apple whilst I'm here. That's the good news. Okay, what's this say over here? It says, the King's Fossery. These rooms were once haunted by the spirit of Prince Frike. The haunting only stopped when his brother Ugnus made sure they were never frequented by the King's horse. Cool. Was that the cause of the haunting? The King's horse was there, causing a few problems. Oh god. I probably just heard gas then in my throat coming up from my tea. Actually, I've only got a bit of tea left. I should drink this up. Oh. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Actually, I haven't drunk it all. There's still a bit left. Well, here we go. Oh, there we go. Jeez. Couldn't swallow all at once there, ladies and gents, because I took quite a big mouthful. Oh dearie me. It's not what you want, really, is it? You don't want to be taking too big a mouthful all at once. You know what? I think I'm just going to return this freaking device piece over here. Because actually, I think returning a few device pieces might be helpful here for upping the spawn rate of the robots a bit. Just so that way, we got plenty of them. Because the whole idea is to get a whole, I don't know, swarm of hunters if we can, going towards our tourist site and getting them stuck in the traps. So the more we can get done in that regard, the better, I do think. At least that is the plan. You know, whilst we're actually here, actually makes for an interesting topic of conversation, you know. What sort of places out there in the world have I, or indeed you guys out there, been to, which you thought were a bit tourist trappish? I can't think of any myself that I've been to off the top of my head, but I can certainly think of places that I know of in the world that relatives of mine have gone to, which they have said were a bit tourist trap-ish. I think the big one that always comes to mind for me is Venice, over in Italy. Because the thing about Venice is, Venice, of course, you know, it is a fairly historically significant city. And, you know, you get lots of tourists going through it every year, every month, in fact. And so, as you can imagine, it's very, very busy. And the thing about Venice is, based on what relatives of mine who've, you know, have told me about it, those who've been to it anyway, is that if you ever go to Venice, there are little secrets that you have to bear in mind, or little things that you have to bear in mind. Because the thing is, if you go to shops and cafes and restaurants off some of the main squares, like what is it, the St. Mark's? Is it St. Mark's, the sort of big main square by the Basilica or whatever it is? Am I even thinking of the right thing? I'm not entirely sure. I might not be, for all I know. But yeah, so if you you know, go to basically any sort of tourist amenity that's off the main square, chances are you're going to get ripped off, you know, money-wise and all that. So with a city like Venice, the trick is to always go down the side streets. I mean, this may well be something me and Phil have talked about before here on the City Being Hunted series. Oh, I'm just going to get rid of you lot so that I can actually investigate some of these bloody buildings. Wow, his body glitched. He didn't like that now, did he? Where have you gone? There's one of you. I'll take your shotgun, though. That could always be useful, couldn't it? Oh. Oh, there you are. Got you. Right, you're out as well. Just take you, unload, give me that, or you. Got you. There's still another one, there he is. Go. Gotcha. Right, at least they're all out. It enables me to basically investigate these buildings in peace, that's all. So I don't have to worry about friggin' anything else turning up. Could do with, oh, a set of pliers actually will be quite helpful. Should I bother with the hatchet? Maybe I should. Hang on, let me just do some inventory management over here. Put that there, stick that there, there we go. Just so I've got plenty of weapons, that's all. That way I'm fully stocked. I don't need more vital stuff, at least not for the time being, because I've got loads. Alright, like I say, it's just worth, you know, taking those guys out just so we can check these. No, yeah, I was talking about, obviously, tourist traps in real life, and yeah, Venice, like I say, is always the big one that people talk about. In fact, you know, I think there are other places in Italy as well. Because Italy is one of those countries that I've not been to, but I would love to go to. Because, you know, there's a lot of history to it and all that. There's a lot to see, a lot to do. And the only thing is, though, I think you just got to pick your sites kind of well. As I say, Venice, probably a bit of a tourist trap. And similarly, I think Pisa also is very touristy. So maybe that can be a bit of a tourist trap sometimes, depending on, you know, whereabouts you're looking in there. But it's worth perhaps visiting. Yeah. Okay, there's another trap there. That's good. So we've got 3 of them so far. That's fantastic. Like I say, we do just need to locate a building somewhere that we can use as a place for holding all our stuff. Alright. Oh, I'll take the revolver ammo, though. That's good. Alright, let me just follow this path over here. So yeah, Pisa, Venice, tourist traps, indeed. I suppose, actually, you know, a bit closer to home, a city like London, really, also will have its touristy trap kind of areas. You know, areas which are very sort of, you know, very much catered to tourists and where there's very high prices. Because, you know, London is one of those cities that's hella expensive. And so, indeed, I've been to London, obviously, a few times before. Sometimes with family, on a little sort of, you know, mini break. Sometimes for work reasons, and all that. And like I say, it's an absolutely crazy, really, how friggin' expensive stuff is. Like, you know, not just food and stuff like that, but also obviously travel expenses. So, you know, for things like tickets for the tube, stuff like that, cost an absolute bombshell. Right? Okay, I think we're going to use this house here as our site, as our storage facility, where we're going to keep traps that we pick up in the meantime, just so I'm not absolutely covered in inventory space, covered in traps in my inventory space. Okay, that wasn't a good phrasing, but never mind. Let me just go on all these junk items. I'll leave things that are useful. I know the letter technically is just stuff like that, but in case I decide I want to read it, it's there. In the meantime, get rid of these bloody potatoes and rats and boots and God knows what else. Out of there, out of... Oh, no. Get rid of that, there we go. Right, put all that up there, there we go. That's good. So it just means it frees up a tiny bit of inventory space on my end. I really do hope, though, that at some point we'll get ourselves a map of the islands, because that will be very, very helpful, just so I can mark out the key areas that I'm planning on using. It'll make things hella more interesting, I do think. Right, where are we here? Rossignol Estate. What? Freaking Jim Rossignol. Freaking hell. Jim, are you giving yourself an estate over there, old boy? I should be eating some of the food in my inventory here, not freaking using anything else. Okay, what are we doing? There was another device piece off over there, but I don't really have space for device pieces in my inventory, do I? If need be, we can always go to another island, though. If need be, that is. Just so we can explore for more traps and whatever. Because the thing is, I think when you said it's castle infrastructure, Obviously a huge amount of space on the islands gets taken up with ruins, things like that, which leaves a bit less space for things like large structures and villages, I think. Just my, you know, just my rough guess based on the fact that I've been playing this game for so many years. Okay, where are we going? There is a jetty there. How long have we been recording for, actually? Probably somewhere just over 10 minutes. We'll go for another few minutes just yet, before we actually wrap up. There's a lot of dudes over there by the looks of it. Oh, freaking pheasants. Don't give away my position. What do you like? Yay, no you don't. Oh god. Let's not get too close to the shore. In case our sea beast pops up and he's like, "Oh, hurdy burr. I want to go touring the castles of Surrey Being Hunted as well, please, Red." That's what he sounds like, ladies and gents. If I had to give the sea beast a voice, that's how he'd talk. Alright, where are we? Okay, there's a big wall over here. It's the Great Wall of the Central Island. See, there's another... Is that the same castle I was at before? I can't remember. Okay, well, you know, I'll use a castle for the tour once we get around to it. I mean, no, I don't think this is the same castle we were at before, because this looks different. Have we been to... Oh, no, wait, we have been to friggin' Nimby Cove already, have we? The village that welcomes careful ramblers? Yes, we have. Bollocks. I've, Oh yeah, because there's a fucking water tower off over there that I think I just saw. Yeah, there it is, in the distance over there. You might be able to see it come into view now, ladies and gents. Alright. Okay. Right, so I think, yeah, we're probably going to need to go over to another island in order to start searching, you know, if there's anything else. Did I check the barrel, though, by this tower? I don't think I did. So it might just be worth me giving that a quick check whilst I'm here. Let's see. I doubt there'll be anything in it, but you never know. So, obviously our big mansion that we were at before, we can just sort of follow the coast back around if we need to find that one. Yeah, there's nothing in there. There never is anything. It's always just junk. Alright, we'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll wrap this episode up here. So we'll make this the first episode then of the Tourist Trap Challenge. Things should be good, so 3 traps so far in our storage. Hopefully, though, we will get our hands on some more, because we've got to get, you know, at least 5 or 6, I do think. And, you know, if we can find at least another 3 on the next island, that'll be good. If we can find maybe, on average, I don't know, 3 or 4 traps per island, that might be a good amount to get us going. So, in that case, we will end things for this episode right here. Hope you'll enjoy that episode, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you'll join me for the next part. We'll continue on. Facebook and Twitter links down below, along with the link to my propagandist channel for anyone interested. And if you enjoyed, don't worry. A like is always appreciated. Why did I say don't worry? A like is always appreciated, ladies and gents. Goodbye, everybody. No. Is that civilian? Looks like civilians. Alright.
Titan formation. Rally on me.
Okay, may as well just keep them all. Me at the moment. Oh. Is that the girl who Frankie was with? It could possibly be. I just see glimpses of them. Sort of escaping through the tunnels. Is she gonna get killed? What the hell? Is that just a tunnel down here? I can't go through there, it's an invisible barrier. Alright, with me, down the... Ooh! What the hell was that? Jesus! Is this turning into a fucking horror game? Oh, is this freaking Doki Doki Literature Club? Are you gonna freaking...